Hi, Gary Madsen, UTV Service. Today I've got a 2011 RZR S model, the 800. We're going to go through the process of installing a set of ProArmor doors right now. And so in this video, that's what we'll take you all the way through and show you how to install, including removing whatever it takes to get off the stock parts and install those nice new ProArmor doors. So stay tuned and hopefully you get something out of this. Okay, first thing for the ProArmor doors, ProArmor highly recommends you put this vehicle up on jack stands. Okay, here we are going to get ready to get these ProArmor doors on. So we're going to remove the seats first off. So the lasp underneath here, lift up and out. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of the nets and this bar right now. So get in here, there's one Torx. Right here, right, a little 10 millimeter in the inside there. Okay, gonna keep all the bolts and nuts together. We just take that undone, right, just that clip right there. Okay, now we'll come back to this one. Has a, funny enough, a 3/8 socket. Got rid of the window net. Now we'll go after the bar. The bar has a Torx up here. Torx number T27. On the back side is 11 millimeter. So. Now this other one up the front bar, 13 millimeter. Got a 13 millimeter wrench. Out comes the bar. So we'll just keep getting it more ready. This can come off. But you're gonna have to get that, you have to unstrap this. We're also got to take these two bolts off the front. So I'll get those, the straps back here, pretty self-explanatory, just got to get them off of there. How I'm gonna do these front ones, take the bolts out, you're actually gonna have to pry the cage off a hair to be able to get rid of this. I broke these loose first with a big ratchet. That's what you're probably going to have to do. As you can see, the cage just moved a little bit. So they've got nuts on the inside here. You want to keep everything together. Put them all in a nice tool tray right there so I don't misplace them. Get out that. The next one. Now, you're actually probably going to have enough room here to get rid of this strap. Gotta work it. Okay. Got rid of the strap. Keep these all together in case you want to end up ever put them back on. I'm not sure why. Again, we can just do this real quick. Just have to undo it here. And out comes the strap. Okay, now we go to the other side. I'll repeat the process on the other side completely. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, one of the confusing things on the instructions, it says, let's put your doors on, and then it goes to the latches assembly, and then we're supposed to undo bolts that we just put on for the door latch. So I kind of disagree with it, so I'm kind of going to go through what I feel you ought to probably be doing in the first place, is mounting the latches. So here we got two latches, and here's how they go. You've got a left and a right. So then we take and we put the bolt, the bolts with the square heads, comes in a little separate plastic. Put them through there with a nut on the back side of each. Okay. Let me zoom this up so you can see a little better. Okay. All right, so now you can see how the latch goes on. Bolts through that way. I think it's just easier to be able to put these latches together and then put them on the door at the same time we're going to install the doors, instead of removing the bolts that we just put on. And that's exactly how I read the instructions to be, which let's save a step. Those latches are a little confusing at first on how to put these in, but I think once you start looking at them, they'll be a lot easier. So here's we go, we're gonna, all right, so there's the latch, one latch installed, bolts tight. Okay. The latch goes on the inside part of this bracket. Looks like it could go either way. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this side, put the bolts in. Bolts through it, and we'll just give it a tighten. And then we're going to go back on to mounting the door. So that's our next step. So there's the latches getting started. I'll get them tightened up, and we'll go back to the door. We'll start installing them on the door. All right, back onto the doors. Now we're installing the doors. I just put the latches together. So the two bolts that we haven't shown that we have to take off still. This bolt right here, I've already taken it loose. It's a Torx head. Front one in off of this door frame right here. Keep it, that's one of the first ones we're going to install. The other one is, it's the bolt that holds the two cages together right here. Now that's the one that you won't be reusing that bolt, but we're actually going to reuse one of these bolts in here. Is going to become our bolt used here. Now, they don't tell me to use a washer on it. I don't like the way it fits all that super, so I think I'm going to use a nice 3/8" washer on it. So that's my own little doing there. So now I'm going to grab the doors. Okay, so here's our door. We're going to loosely put it up here. To fit in there. So now we want to get some of these bolts in here loose just to get them started. So I'm starting with this bottom one that I just barely took off right here. See if it gives you a little more zoomed up frame. See what. All right. So we're looking at these. The one on the bottom here. We're going to put this one up here. Now, like I say, now I'm using the one bolt, one of these bolts that came off of here. I'm putting a washer on it. They don't tell you to do that in instructions. And then you're going to put it and use that in here. This one I've noticed you have to do a little bit of, you got to push this frame in a little bit because it's, okay. Now, I'm going to use the nut that came off with them. Okay, so I have multiple nuts come off of them, so you're going to use one of that, the nut that came off this bolt back here. Okay, so now I've loosely got that installed. I've loosely got this installed. Now they give you, back this off a little bit so you can see better. Or I can tell you a little better. Okay, they give us these 3/8 bolts. I don't know how long they were. It comes in the kit. These are the two that come here. The instructions tell you to first just put this in here to loosen them. And then when you get to the pay, after you've installed the doors, and then it says, oh, by the way, when you get to page to have the latches, now take these bolts off, put the latch in. It seems like a pretty wasted time to me, so I'm going to put them both in at the same time. Let's see if I can't figure this out. Okay, put that through there. Just trying to, you just kind of got to look at these latches and decide if that's, and that goes inside there. Everything's just still going to be put in loose. Okay. I'm just kind of getting an idea of where how my latch is all going to line up there. Now they tell you to put this, tighten everything up yet. I'm still not convinced. I'm going to just get an idea of what I got going on here. Make sure I'm looking like what I'm doing is right. Let's see, 5/8. I believe they say it's a 5/8 wrench. A 5/8 wrench to be able to turn this in. This is a lock nut. And I'm just kind of getting it. Okay. Starting to line everything up. It wants to make sure you're clearing the door frame there, which it is. So that's basically how it works right there. All right, so that's looking pretty good. I'm going to start getting these a little tighter. So you got to make sure everything's fitting right. Kind of give it a little squeeze. Let's go. Let's start. We'll start with this center one. Start getting it a little tighter. And then go back to here a little bit. Still not tight. Getting fitting it. Everything looks like it fits good. Now I'm going to go back to this rear one. Get a 14mm wrench for that. And this is the main door. Holder right here, it goes to the frame. Okay, now we're getting close to being tight. Alright, finishing up these doors. I've got this latch in there temporarily. See if I can get this. Right. Start testing these latches. So, fits nice and tight. Works pretty slick right now. Slam latches, so I think I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to tighten everything up here. I've tightened this up. I've already tightened the rear up. If I don't forget to leave the socket there. And then I'll tighten this other bottom one up also. Okay, now I'm just going to help. Socket stuck. Alright, tighten the rear one, tighten this lower one, and now these are tight. I've got the latch in place. I got to finish up a few parts on the latch. Slam latch fits good. The covers are pretty self-explanatory. You're going to put the covers on, all the bolts through, get them all tightened up. And these ProArmor doors, a couple little things, the little knob on here, I'll get tightened up. I'll get the nut on here set, latch it and tighten this so it's tight. And we've got the ProArmor doors getting installed. I'm going to do the duplicate situation on that other left side. And we'll show you the finished product here in just a little bit.